Alright, hello, welcome back to the Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video here. So, today we are going to be doing another How Tanky Can the Unit Get video. And this time around, we are going to be stacking defense with the boy here, Majin Buu Good. Now, this was one of the first ones I intended to do. I never got around to. I mean that because when I started doing these originally, it was like the start of December. So we went from the very first character I did, which is the 8th year Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Vegeta, and Ultimate Gohan and all those, which I probably do need to revisit those characters, honestly. But anyway, I meant to do this guy originally. I didn't. Part of the reason why I didn't was this part of the passive. This might be annoying to activate. So because of that, I'm starting this one. So we're still going to do the 2 turns of stacking that I do. But instead of going directly into that, I'm going to, once I'm ready to, cut away, and we'll come back after I get the revive, because I can't. If this is really important to him, the 100% phase 2 stats, as well as the guaranteed additional super, will be a massive increase to his defensive ability. So I do need to make sure to get this as soon as possible, and I may have to reset a couple of times if I don't get lucky enough, because he will take enough damage to die at the start, probably. But it's going to be a very, very tiny window. Now, something to note here, I mean, this is obviously a double 200%. I believe he is actually on Omega's 220. I think that's actually potentially his only 220. Yeah, he's on the 220. But the issue with running Omega, I've gone over this, he has the AoE, so I can't really run him as a lead in here, because Rose just fucking will get melted from probably even honestly 1. So it's just not an option, unfortunately. So this is a 200% lead, but we have a lot of buffs here still. He should look very, very crazy, although we'll have to see. So with that all being said, also I'm going to be using the friendly for the stacking, obviously. I mean, I have a dupe in mind, but if I can do Rainbow, I would prefer to do that. But that being said, though, I'm going to cut away now. I'm going to come back whenever I get the revive in, and then we'll do our 2 turns of stacking. It might be a little difficult to get though, so we'll see how it all works out. I don't know. It's gonna be a little tough to do this one, but I want to get it in. So yeah, we will be right back though. Alright, so there we go. I do have the revive. Now I'm just going to talk through this as I play out the turns. That way, because I mean we're already not on the start of the right turn, sort of. If that makes sense. So with Buu, I mean, as you can see, I have double Glorio here. I really, really tried. I have wasted so much of my fucking meat. I've gone through about 1,000 fucking stamina, both through the meat and just waiting for it to refresh, trying to get another goddamn Buu to appear. Because I realized before I made an oopsie. I didn't have 3 or more super class allies, which means I couldn't use the Gogeta active, which means I wouldn't get the massive 230% phase 2, which is needed, right? So I kind of had to restart, and in the trying to restart, I could not get another fucking dude to appear. The friends system is so fucking garbage. I cannot tell you guys how many times I've gone to try one of these, and, you know, between attack and defense stacking, and it's just like, I gotta spend hours trying to get the fucking person I want.
Mind your own business, Kakarot.
Yeah, I get it. I've never faced someone this strong before. I'm getting excited.
Alright, sorry, I don't like talking during the animation. So, it's really annoying. You know, they need to fix the friend system. I doubt they're going to, unfortunately. But yeah, we're ready to get going here. I have not, I've gotten one stack with them so far. We're up to 334,748. I just, no, because I was intentionally trying to not stack his defense so he'd take more damage. But yeah, I think Buu is going to be really crazy defensively at the end. Now, you know, once we get to the end, the thing is, even though I have like Buuhan and Majin Buu, good, the tech one, the World Tournament card, on the team, I'm not going to be using them here for the links. Now, I know the links are very huge to Buu. I mean, Majin gives like 15%. Infinite regeneration, I think, is another 5%. There's some other link I think he can get active that gives defense. So I know they're very important. However, I feel like going for the 230% phase 2 is probably more, because I mean he already has a decent bit of phase 2, but it's 250%, right? Because it's the 100% from the revive and the 150 when attacking, right? So I mean we're doubling his phase 2, whereas with the links, I mean we'd get like 20-25%, which is a huge amount for the links, mind you. That's a true 25% buff. But overall, we would get more from doubling our phase 2, right? So there's that, and then also, I mean, like the AGL Gogeta active, I mean, there's no other active we have active, right? So that active skill phase, that 54%, is going to be worth a ton. So, you know, with these, sometimes it's just, I gotta make the best of what I can. And this will make Buu look the best, right? But it's, you know, I do know we are going to miss out on some pretty major links later on, but I don't know, I'm trying to make them look as good as possible. I mean, that is the thing with some of these. Sometimes, you know, I can't always have the absolute perfect 7 out of 7 links, 1,000,000% support. It's like, I can make the best support possible, but once again, I don't really like talking during the animation. Sorry there. I can make the best, you know, support possible, but I can't always get like all of the support, right? So, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, we'll you know, show the start of the next turn, and then we will you know, get a couple. You know, we'll see how much stacks we get, and then I'm gonna get started. You know, and with the defense stacking ones, I do only do the one like sort of big turn, right? At the end, so I'll be very interested to see what this guy's gonna get up to. Shit. You know, I didn't even consider. I should be fine because he has the guaranteed edition super. Let's just say is the when attacking, is that with the super effect, or is it just when attacking in general? For his like phase 2 buff, because later on, with the monster carrot, I can't. They're not actually key spheres, right? They are very important for the defense, but they're not actually key spheres. So, okay, so we're up to 643,000. We did get 4 stacks last turn, so we increased about 300,000. I mean, that is with 4 supers, but we can get that many every turn, you know. So we'll have to see, you know, what Boo's going to be doing for me here. Now, keep in mind, mine is 69%. I have one dupe. So it's not technically like the full max power, right? And this is, you know, a double 200% lead. But I think Fat Buu, I could be wrong. I think his only 220 lead is Omega right now. And once again, I mean, unfortunately, I can't really use Omega for these. But he'll still look really crazy. And something with like the dupe. Sure, more is always better. But that first dupe really does, in the bottom right path, give you the most value. You get a lot of the stats that you get for the difference between 55% and Rainbow. So he could have higher, but you know, it does also help that I have the sort of defense equip on him. So he will still look very, very good by the end. And I just wanted to make sure to get this guy in. I was trying to use that friend, but you know, the game wanted to fuck me over. So very annoying. Especially because we have World Tournament right around the fucking corner. I was really annoyed. And, I mean, I'm recording this practically like some... What is it, like 14 to 18 hours later or something from when I recorded the first part. Because I kept waiting for stamina to refresh. Because I didn't want to waste the meat with the fucking World Tournament right around the corner. So I gotta get at least 30 mil points there. And who knows, I may even go a little harder because that... looks like we're getting a new LR with Chi-Chi, and if she's good, I'm gonna want to dupe in her, right? So, I don't know, it's just very, very annoying. But yeah, I'm gonna cut it away here. I'm going to get to stacking, and we will, you know, come back as we can, you know, turn 100-ish, and we will see just how tanky Int Fat Buu can get. All right, so we are back here. We've gotten pretty stacked up by this point, and we are up to turn 97. The Buu domain, the Buhan domain rather, is up right now. We have the double Glorio support, but besides that, we don't have anything up. Now this is actually very interesting. I came to a realization. And I'm going to, you know, sometimes even I'm wrong about phases. I have a pretty good idea of all the activations. I don't, like, I'm not sure if this is intended to be the way it is. But apparently it works this way. So as you can see, we're up to 17,323,252. As you can see in the sort of formula here, 17,323,312. Once again, I like to say this every time. There's a small discrepancy with like the hundreds place, but besides that, we're correct. Now, I just want to show everything just before I actually go into this. So as you can see, my base defensive stat, 12,875. That's correct. Demonic power, 200% lead. You have to write one more. It's multiplication. One is just the same thing. So the 5, that's correct. We don't have any items up right now. For Buu, he's not a successor, right? He's not fusion, so he's not getting any buff from EGL Gogeta. The only buff he has in this sort of phase is Glorio. Now this is where things get really interesting. So 150% stats. That's all he has. Then double Glorio would be 250. So I'd write that as 3.5. As you see, I have that as 4.5, and I have no phase 2. Now, just to show the last thing here, though, 150, right? Look at this. Actually, I don't here, so I do cut portions of it. This should be in it. Okay. I've gotten, as I can show, 150 supers with Buu. So I'd write that as 46, right? That's correct. All of this is correct. All of the numbers are correct. This is what mystifies me. This buff down here, after the characters or an ally's revival skill is activated, attack and defense 100% up. I always thought that this was a phase 2 ability. Because the revival skill has to activate first. That's the prerequisite. So I don't get it. But yeah, so let me just show this. We'll take 3.5, right? And then I'll put 2 here. Because I was so confused. Look, this is 26,947,375. So I don't know if this is like a bug in game. You know, sometimes characters' kits have bugs. Or like what the deal is, but maybe it's because it can also activate off of allies' revival skills. Is that how all of the ally revival skill abilities work? Maybe. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That just really threw me off. I had to point that out at the beginning here. I was like, what the hell? Why is this so off? I double checked the amount of supers. I'm like, because I just checked this, right? But no, I mean it's a phase 1 buff apparently, because that matches up with the in-game defense. So very, very odd. But yeah. So we're ready to get started here. All of the mystery aside there. I'm sorry, I had to show that. I don't know if you guys knew that was, because I have a lot of experience with this game. You know, I've been playing it for years. I'm not perfect by any means, you know. I make mistakes too, but I always since its release, not that I was doing content on its release, which I mean wasn't that long ago, but I wasn't making content then for Dokkan at least, and you know I always thought that was a phase 2 buff. I'm curious if anyone else thought that was a phase 2 buff. I've always thought it was. So I guess on the bright side, we'll get more value from when attacking and with Tech Gojitas. So there's that at least. But yeah, we're ready to get started here. So first, let me. I guess we'll just pop the Tech Gogeta active. Alright, so with that, we do get the 230% phase 2 buff, although it's not active yet. Tech Gogeta actually has to attack. Now, this hits all allies, right? It's not just extreme or super. Yeah, okay, I just had to make sure. We will get the 50% defensive raise as well. I mean, it's not going to be a big difference, but, you know, it'll help. Then, is this an AO? Can I use this? Yeah, okay. You know what? Why not? Just to get the animation in, let me pop his active. Now, when popping the active skill, we did attack, right? So we do get the 150% increase to phase 2. There we go. So we are now up to 43,308,108 in game, 43,308,281 in this sort of formula. Then it should still let me change, right? We change these in the carrots. Yes, okay, perfect. And we grab all of them. That is 23 times 15. That's a 345% increase, which I write as 4.45. And Boo is up to 192,721,088. But guess what? We're not done yet. We do also have Android 8, which will be another 50% in the item phase, so 4.95. And Int Boo is up to 214,375,184. Gee, is he gonna break like 1 billion? He might. Based off of Tech Gogeta's phase 2. Because we're still gonna jump up quite a bit here. Let's pop AGL Gogeta. Alright, so, after popping the active skill phase, Gogeta, we do have the 54% increase. So, in-game, we're up to 330,137,696. Out of game, 330,139,028. This is actually really crazy. Because with these numbers already, I mean, to be fair, I do need to redo, like, Tech Vegeta and such, but, you know, I mean, the Tech Gogeta active is gonna, or not active, the phase 2, it's gonna put us over. That's, I don't know, that's crazy to think about. Alright, well, we're ready to get started here. We have everything up, so let's do this. And we'll see just what he gets up to. It's not gonna get quite up to 1 billion, but, it's definitely going to be very high, so. Alright, so with this, right, we do get the 230% increase, so 4.8, and we also 46.5, because the 50% defensive raise. So Boo is currently up to 640,756,791. Now, Tech Gogeta here is going to combo for 8 years because of his guaranteed additional supers. This character is just so crazy. They definitely cooked the 5-star meal with him. I don't get why so many people don't really seem to be a fan of this, Golden Frieza Gogeta card. I really like both sides quite a bit. It seems that is not a universal feeling about the card. I don't know, but just seeing, like, cause you gotta think. I mean, he's not this. I know this is a stacking thing, but this guy doesn't really get anything from stacks. The only buff he has active here is Super Gogeta, and we're not even linked with Super Gogeta, so he would get a lot higher if Super Gogeta was slot 2. Alright, so Int Fat Buu attacking. Now, we're not going to get much raises from here on, but that's a 30% raise super effect phase. He has another one, so 47.1, 649,024,021. And another one here, 47.4, 653,158,536. And then we do get the hidden potential to finish things off. 47.7, 657,292,450. So he gets pretty high up. That's actually pretty crazy because, firstly, god damn, that's crazy to think about. I only have one dupe enough, right? This is not a 220 leap. And, I suppose I haven't done Tech Kefla since you know, Gogeta came out, obviously, but I mean, for example, this is higher than like Cat Capture. I got her up to like 500 some odd million. I don't know, that's pretty crazy because this guy, you know, Golden Week 2024, and he's actually competing with all the big defense stackers from this year and such. And Int Fat Buu is just the goat. I swear. Okay, well, there we go. I mean, I guess it does help that he has a 30% defensive raise domain active, but, you know. Yeah, I did not really... I'm sorry, that just still is throwing me off. That phase 1/2, like, the revival buff, I had no idea it worked that way. Genuinely, please let me know if you guys did. Right? Have I just been the oddball out this entire time? How is that not a phase 2 buff? It's literally after the fucking action for revival takes place, and revival buffs are phase 2 buffs for the most part. I don't know if it's because it has the ally revival skill wording in there. I'm going to have to maybe try testing some stuff out, because that's very interesting. If that's the wording that's making it a phase 1 buff, or if it's just like a bug, I don't know. But yeah, there we go. We're gonna end this one here. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Take care.